What's going on, everybody? This is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I'm going to be running Aqua critical mode. It's the hardest difficulty in the game. So I'm ready to go whenever. I'll give the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Off to the races. So critical mode is actually the fastest difficulty in the game, and Aqua's the fastest character to play as. We kind of abuse an ability called 0 EXP, which keeps us at level 1 the whole game, while buffing some of our finishers. So we're definitely going to abuse some of that. First segment is the orbs fight, and it's really heavy RNG. Party members can really screw you up here. There is a kind of correct way to do it, but it can go wrong pretty easily, so we'll see what happens. I tried to knock that first orb into the other one. It kills them both right away, but he didn't get it. It's not a huge deal. Shot lock the second wave. And you see there, Terra just knocked them all over the place. Still not too bad. Hopefully this shot lock can finish off the rest. Nope. Alright, there it is. Not too bad. Definitely can lose a lot of time that segment. Super heavy reset point. Luckily it's a minute into the run. So there's a lot of cutscenes in this game, and there's a lot of cutscene skips. It's kind of important to skip them as quickly as possible. Load times definitely add up.
Load times are about the same on the PSP version as they are on the PS3 version. It's not much. They're not great either way.
So we do a lot of this. A lot of cartwheeling. You can actually time those cartwheels out, space the button inputs properly. Mashing, you drop a lot of cartwheels, so spacing them out is kind of important. Optimal movement. A lot of this game is moving through the world, each world, so optimizing it as best as possible is helpful. So we're going to ignore all these enemies. No need to kill them. Don't need that EXP in this run. I'd like to give a shout out real quick to my Kingdom Hearts blanket. I wear it all the time. A lot of PBs happen in this bad boy. So we bought 2 blizzards and a sliding dash right there. Sliding dash is super important for the whole run. And then we're going to turn on the EXP 0 ability right there as well. That's going to keep us at level 1 the whole time and kind of bust up Aqua pretty bad. I'm definitely going to get to showcase that that buffed up finisher real quick in this upcoming fight. So right here we have to escort Jacques, the mouse, across the room. In beginner, you kind of hope for a good path where Jacques doesn't spawn any extra enemies. In crit, we're pretty OP already, so we just kind of kill everything, get into the Spellweaver form. And he actually is a pretty good path either way. And here's the Spellweaver finisher. It's pretty much going to just instantly melt everything at this point. And then we wait for Jacques to do his thing. Get a little bit of money. Good segment.
That was pretty good Jacques block.
Big thing for a lot of runners that come over from other KH games is that skipping cutscenes in this game is kind of annoying compared to the other ones, where you can kind of buffer your inputs in the menus and the cutscene skips in a lot of the other Kingdom Hearts games, and that doesn't really exist in this one. You have to be kind of careful with timing those skips. Alright, so here's the first boss fight, I guess. Cursed Coach. He's a Cursed Coach. And same idea applies. We're going to use our Blizzards to get into the Spellweaver command style. And then finish him off with the Spellweaver finisher. Oh. Alright, could have gone a little better, but saved it there. And you can see that's pretty good example of just the ridiculous amount of damage that Spellweaver finisher does right off the bat. Alright, next up is Dwarf Woodlands. This is the Snow White world. This world tends to be a pretty heavy reset point. A couple of things can go wrong. Sliding dash down the river, grab the poison chest. Poison's going to be super useful for this boss in this world, and then a boss a few worlds later. And that's the first instance, really, of the sliding dash movement we're going to be doing. It's pretty cool stuff. If you sliding dash into an enemy like that, it cancels, and then you can go right into a cartwheel. So it makes for some pretty fast movement tricks. Alright, now here we're going to build up the Spellweaver finisher just like before. Also super easy to die there, pretty scary. And then we're going to use Spellweaver on these, I don't even know what they're called to be honest, but we're going to collect these ice cream ingredients. We're going to do that 3 times throughout the run, and we're going to use the ice cream ingredients later on to make ice cream. And that's going to be pretty important. Alright, so we're going to do this neat little jump. Gonna get the Fission Firaga chest. Pretty good spell. Definitely wasn't intended for you to get that this early. Another cool movement trick. Pausing the game cancels whatever animation you're in. So we sliding dash right before doing quite a few menus, because you can just cartwheel right out of it or enter the door or whatever it is. This is a part I usually skip in my reset runs, because you can get the same crystal we're going to get right now by killing some enemies and hoping for a drop, which is faster, but not fast enough for me to risk that today. Oh, okay. Pretty good movement. A little rusty at that, since I rarely do it. The goal there is to fall down and hit that pot with the sliding dash. It cancels it, but it wasn't low enough. So, alright, now we got the boss fight here. Pretty short world. Magic Mirror is the boss fight. He's kind of a pretty big pain in the butt. There's one pattern he can do that you can't really do anything about, and it just loses time. So we're going to hope he doesn't do that. But it seems like he's really enjoyed doing that today so far. So
Come on.
Poison's going to chunk his damage pretty good. Best pattern. Gotta wait for these abilities to load. And now we can cancel the sliding dash with Spellweaver. Pretty perfect fight right there.
Nice.
That might be one of my favorite fights. There's a lot going on throughout the whole time. But extremely frustrating when it goes wrong. And some extremely long loads and 4 cutscene skips.
Yeah, and the Magic Mirror fight as well. It's also really interesting. The way you set up your menus before that fight to make sure that you're cycling through the right abilities to actually be able to stun Magic Mirror right before you use the Spellweaver finisher. You have to use the abilities in a certain order. It's a really complex fight, and he made it look pretty easy, obviously.
Yeah, ability order is really important in this run. We're going to see that again in this world, the boss fight of this world. Using the correct abilities at the correct time is important, and the way I menu them in just makes it so that they usually line up properly.
We have a $5 donation from Greg. Good commentary / run so far, my dude. Too bad about the character choice. OP.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't run Terra today. Bit of sliding dash movement there. Alright, so right now we're going to do a quick shop menu. I'm going to get 4 magnets and 3 thunders. And it's going to be the basis of our command deck for a while. Not that. Alright, so 4 magnets, 3 thunders. There are 2 thunders in the deck right now. So right here we're going to do a neat bit of movement to grab another chest that we probably shouldn't have right now. Let's see if I get it. There we go. Oh, that's scary. Alright, so that's Ice Barrage. We're going to equip that a little bit later. Extremely good command.
We have $10 from Rebel Dragon 95.
Hey.
Yo, Nanner.
Hey, Rebel.
You better show me up for my ESA run and get a better time than me. If not, get 40 on football for me. Good luck on the run.
Thanks, Rebel. So magnet on mob fights like this is just pretty busted, to be honest. Sucks them all in, not much they can do, and we're going to spell weaver this last group. Move to this extremely large area. Alright, that was fun. Then we got an unskippable cutscene to watch. It's pretty sick. You and Phil. The Goons fight is really kind of hard to optimize. There's a lot that can go wrong, a lot you gotta try to keep under control. I'm gonna Magnet Thunder this first wave over here. Magnet again. Now we need to kill these two right here first. Spawn this next wave. Alright. Some more sliding dash movement. The archers are the scariest part. Like, they can just snipe you and not a whole lot you can do about it. Can't really see it coming. And on level 1, everything does pretty big damage. One last spell weaver should kill everything. Perfect. Alright, this is also a chest I don't usually grab and hope for a drop. But if you don't get the drop, it literally can't continue the run, so not worth risking that either. And my commands didn't level up during the fight, so I'm just going to have to kill these guys real quick. There we go. Normally I would kill that group that just spawned right there and hope for a fleeting drop, but we did the wheels for that in Dwarf Woodlands. so we don't have to hope for the RNG there. Alright, last sliding dash. Now we're going to meld some commands together. We're going to use these fleeting crystals that we've been getting to get magic hastes. And that's going to let our abilities load in a lot faster. Alright, let's equip our spoils. Shoot. A little bit of a sloppy menu. Alright, so now we have Dragon Maleficent, and she's a recurring boss in the series. But this fight's a little different in Birth by Sleep. So the idea for the speedrun is that we want to kill her before she takes flight, because taking flight is slow. And you lose about 20 seconds or so if she flies off. So we're going to go here. Just do this. She doesn't have hitboxes back here. So this is an instance where you got to be careful which abilities you're using when. Because you want your... oh, okay. Yeah, I messed up. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Should still kill before she takes off. Yeah, no problem.
Nice.
There's a bit of RNG there. She can take off before she even does that fire attack she was using. It's just pretty rare, but it does happen. So we got a little bit lucky and she stuck around for a little while longer. Let me kill her. Alright, so that's the first 3 worlds. I'm going to move on to, I guess, kind of the middle of the game. That's what it was intended to be. It's kind of towards the beginning of the run still, but... So we're going into Radiant Garden now. There's 2 boss fights in this, and a forced fight with some enemies. Gonna equip those thunders because they need to level up. And to do that, we're going to kill a couple of groups on the way up to the first forced fight here. I'm going to get one more fleeting chest here. I think this is the last crystal we're going to pick up. Alright. So that should give us enough extra EXP to level those thunders up and meld another Thundara right after this fight. The only problem is that during this fight, you fight with Mickey, and party member kills don't count towards your ability EXP. So if he steals any of the big guys that give a lot of EXP, then you're kind of out of luck and lose a bit of time having to level those up. Mickey looked fierce right there. Alright, looks like we're gonna be good. It was a pretty good fight. Scary at the end. I didn't think I caught that last enemy, but Alright, so right back here is the Mind Square chest, and Mind Square is another super good command that we're going to use for a large portion of the run now. Alright, the next fight is Trinity Armor. And this is one that a lot of newer runners have some difficulty with. And once you learn the pattern, it's not too bad. It's a pretty consistent fight, actually, compared to a lot of the other ones. Alright, so once again, we're going to try to get into that Spellweaver finisher command style ASAP. And with us, though, we now have Ice Barrage and Mind Square, which do pretty good damage by themselves. So that's definitely helpful now. And this fight can be scary still, because all of his attacks are going to kill you in one hit. Dash towards Terra, and the second hit every time. Oh wow. That second piece had quite a bit of health left. It's unusual. No problem now. Just stand under him and spam these until we have what we need. And we're good. So at the top you see we got maximum HP increase and we learned Blade Charge. And Blade Charge is another command style. It's a secondary command style, which means it comes in like after Spellweaver, so it goes Spellweaver, then Blade Charge. And the command styles you get are dependent on the commands that you use. And since Spellweaver is so good, we don't want Blade Charge ever. So we have to now be careful not to use abilities that's going to give us Blade Charge. Namely, Ice Barrage. That little bit of movement there, skipping the falling onto those pipes, is actually not that easy. Alright, now we're moving towards the second and last boss of Radiant Garden. This is going to be our first encounter with Vanitas, who is the main antagonist of Aqua's story. You're going to fight him 3 times throughout the run. The first time you fight him, he is susceptible to getting hit by Magnera. So we're going to abuse that pretty bad right now. The thing about Vanitas, though, is that he can just randomly dodge any of your attacks at any time. It's total RNG. So whether or not the Magnera actually hits him is totally up to the game. Cool, so we got him in the first one. The record actually has like 15 seconds to save on this fight because he just refused to get into the magnet. And so we're going to do this. We're just going to keep him there the whole entire fight. Somebody didn't think this through too well.
Yeah, once you get him in that first magnet, he's pretty much stuck. as long as you are pretty quick with your commands.
And since I have the Spellweaver already up, I'm able to now use Ice Barrage freely without worrying about getting into Blade Charge. Should be enough damage. Yeah, perfect. So that's probably the most cheese in the run in terms of boss fights. Cool. So we got 3 more worlds unlocked after Radiant Garden. Got Disney Town, Olympus Coliseum, and Deep Space. And the battle levels are in that order: Disney Town, Olympus Coliseum, and Deep Space. So that's kind of the intended order. But we go right to Deep Space because we're going to get a couple things out of the way. This is probably the most annoying world. I've lost more runs to this world than I know. There's a lot of randomness going on. But this first forced fight is pretty straightforward. Perfect. All right. Next thing is this sort of mini game that we're gonna go do. Aqua kind of goes out into space and gets on her Keyblade glider and has to fight these space unversed. And this is basically probably the most frustrating thing in any speedrun I've ever done. Alright, here we go. So Aqua's got like 1 or 2 attacks. She's got like a charge kind of attack, physical attack, and then she's got these arrows she can shoot. And she's got a barrier she can throw up. And the physical attack's pretty worthless. So we kind of just sit in a corner and spam arrows, because this is probably the easiest part of the run to die on. And unfortunately, she says this the whole time. If at any point, like, 3 of these guys decide to charge you at the same time, it's almost guaranteed death. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. As soon as you hit one and pop it up, you want to finish it off. Come on. There we go. That was actually a really great fight.
Yeah, that was actually super fast. Really good job. Really good RNG, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Nobody got too aggressive there.
Yeah, it's super nice when like 1 at a time charges you and you're constantly hitting at least 1, but doesn't get too overwhelming. This is this next part. We have to kill all these groups so that we can use this teleporter in the middle of the room. So we can't use it while the enemies are out. But it's actually like deceptively hard, or easy rather, to die here. Because these enemies, they charge you, and they also kill you in 1 hit, or 2 hits maybe. But we're good. I've definitely died. It's not a huge death, maybe 15 seconds or something lost, but I've died there quite a few times. Alright, so this next room we are going to do another forced fight, this time with your boy Stitch. In one of the beginner routes, you really got to rely on Stitch to do a bit of damage, but in crit we're just going to and 1 dove, which is annoying. One of those guys dives underground and gets away. Luckily, that still spawns the next group, even if you only kill 3 of them, so we can ignore him for now. I hope he just gets trapped in the next magnet. He did not, and he dove again. Alright. Frustrating when that happens, but not much you can do about it. And now we are going to go to the last fight, which is Gantu. Big whale guy. We're going to re-equip poison that we had earlier. I'm going to put on air slide, which I don't normally do, but it's a fun ability. So we're going to do it for this run.
Don't get to see air slide too often.
Yeah, it's a rarity. Okay. Terrible movement. Gantu is a really intimidating fight. It turns a lot of new runners off because they just have a lot of trouble with it. It's just another one of those where you have to be a little bit patient and recognize his patterns, because everything he does is going to kill you in 1 hit, just like most of the other bosses, but he seems more unpredictable than he is. You can definitely manipulate what he's doing. So we're going to hit him with poison right off the bat, so that's going to chip away. For safety, use Ice Barrage, Mind Square, Nara. So we're going to go away a little bit, try to bait out. Oh, okay. Try to bait out another gun attack. There it is. Let's see another one. One more. Alright. And should be enough damage.
Very nice fight.
Yeah, not bad at all. Played it a little safe. He is pretty threatening, but no big deal. Alright, so we're done with the world, but we're going to re-enter because we need that second batch of ice cream ingredients from Deep Space. And this is the only set where the enemies might not spawn. So it's random whether they spawn or not. Which wouldn't be a huge deal if they weren't at the back of a really long room and there was no way to tell if they were going to be there or not. So we have to enter here, go all the way to the back wall, and hope that they spawn on the first try. Otherwise, you have to re-enter the room until you get them. Cool, so we got them first try. I want to say it's like 75% or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 70-75%, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think world record for number of times they haven't shown up is 8. Shout outs to your boy Be True. I think my record's 5, which is pretty abysmal still. It's like 15 seconds a shot every time they don't show up. Alright, so we're going to open this world with another forced fight. It's a pretty long one. And we have Kid Hercules with us, who's definitely the most useless party member you get. Which is saying something in this game for sure. We go our classic Magnera Ice Barrage opening. Too many got away. Alright, cool. Really good fight. And then right now we're going to turn around and grab that final batch of ingredients. Safe. Should be plenty. Alright, so we're going to talk to Phil. And we're going to do 10 timed fights. Kind of a boring segment. The time doesn't really pose any threat. It's going to be the same magnet nonsense that we've been seeing. Just some small optimizations here and there that make it go a little faster. So we got the Spellweaver finisher, and we're going to hold on to that till round 10, because round 10 is super easy to die on if we don't have that.
We have a $5 donation from DJ Salty Nuts. Soup Nanner, it's been a while. Sorry I wasn't able to go to Smash the Record. I had unexpected bad in real life RNG. Anyways, have fun at the event. Hopefully we see each other soon. Smash the Record 2017, question mark?
Sounds good. Thanks, DJ.
Shoutouts to DJ Salty Nuts.
Alright, round 9. And round 10 is like 30 or 50 of these jellyfish that were kind of scary in deep space. So we just... The 50 might have been a slight exaggeration. We just do that. It's super safe. Otherwise, you can get one shot. Alright, so now normally you would fight Zack from Final Fantasy. He's here. And then Hades. But instead, we're going to leave the world and get that ice cream we've been working so hard to get. Mine square. Alright, so we're out. We're gonna go to Disney Town. And 3 ducks are gonna give us 40 or 50 ice cream cones. No, 36. Alright, quick menu before we talk to the horse. So we got second chance and once more. And I'm not quite sure which one does which, but they keep you alive from getting like comboed to death and from getting just like one-shotted. So, okay, not a big deal. I sold mine square on accident, but could have been worse.
And the best mini game of all time.
Yeah, so this is super boring. Unfortunately, Aqua has the longest of the 3 characters minigames in Disney Town. It's 3 minutes. You have to win. It's this game where you hit fruit into the goal. It's not challenging, like it's super easy to win. It's just really long. Good bathroom break if you have to go to the bathroom during an hour-long speedrun. Generally, I just get up to like 10. And they don't pose much of a threat, but we'll just see how high we can get.
What is your fruit ball PB?
Actually, no, I think it's like 37, which is not bad.
Not bad.
I've seen like 45, 48. I don't understand. I've never even gotten close to that. Like, that's ridiculous. I usually just try to let them not score on me, but that is already gone. Terra has like a racing game, Kingdom Hearts, and Ven has like a rhythm game, which is horrible. And the input delay is like terrible. It's really frustrating. So I'm really happy we don't have to do that, but this is definitely the longest. If you're going for fruit ball PB, splitting those grapes up like that is the way to go. Just hoping they all fall in their net. It's not looking good though for your boy. Kingdom Hearts is not a game known for its mini games. Throughout the series, they've been quite appalling. Alright, that was fun.
That settles that.
28
That's-
reset.
Yeah. Not good enough. That's the entirety of Disney Town, so we really just use it for ice cream. And now begins sort of a boss rush, I guess. We still have another world to go to after we beat Olympus Coliseum, but there's not a whole lot to do there. So we got that ice cream, and before we had to use the commands to get into the command styles, but using 2 of the Fabricadabra ice creams we got will put you straight into the Spellweaver command style finisher. So now we don't even have to bother working for our OP move. We just go right into it.
This is when you start. This is the part of the run where you start to see exactly why critical level 1 is so much faster than all the other categories.
Yeah.
This is where it becomes really obvious.
So Zach is pretty easy. We're going to ignite him once. Get into the Spellweaver. Hopefully we don't get hit here. Cool. And we're just going to do that one more time. Using 2 ignites and then doing the command style. Gets you the perfect amount of damage. And he's dead. So the next fight is Hades and Ice Colossus, or Ice Titan. Definitely my least favorite fight in the whole run, boss fight. Just really frustrating. Hades can DM, Desperation move, randomly, and you can't hit him during that move. And it takes about 15 seconds for it to end, so even if he does it once, it's a pretty huge time loss. As well as trying to worry about killing both of them. The idea is that you want Hades to move close to Ice Colossus so you can Spellweaver and hit both of them at the same time. But it's totally RNG whether or not he does move that way. And you can kind of hit him to reset his movement pattern, but it doesn't always work out. So let's hope for the best. Yeah, it looks like he's moving the wrong way. Still. Okay, that works. Okay, still looking pretty good. Let's hope it stays this way. Please don't DM. Nice.
Nice.
Cool. Good fight.
Very good fight.
I had really bad luck in my practice runs earlier, so I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, Hades cooperated quite significantly better there. Staying close to the Ice Titan,
Yep.
so you could hit both of the Spellweaver finisher at the same time.
There's a lower chance for him to use that DM if Ice Colossus Titan is still alive. So that's why
one
we
of the
kind of
two.
like killing them evenly. Alright, so we cleared those 3 worlds, and so we unlocked the Neverland. And Neverland is a glorified circle in Aqua's story. So we're going to run around, do some movement, skip a couple cutscenes, and then fight Vanitas for the second time. Luckily, there's some neat stuff we can do with sliding dash, so it's not totally hopeless here. Quite long cutscene loads. Alright, so we're going to try for a bit of sliding dash movement here. It's a little tricky. Cool. Not a great angle, but it works. Shoot. Well, try to strung together 2 of those bubbles. You can actually get 3. It's pretty hard to set up, especially if you're trying to go as fast as possible. And so that's all there was to the level. Pretty exciting stuff. We're gonna do the boss fight now. Got an ability we won't use. Okay, here's Vanitas 2. Just like the first one, he can dodge whatever he wants. Fortunately, we can't hit him with Magnet or anything like that, but we can hit him with Ignite, which is going to chip damage over time. So the idea is to hit him with Ignite until he does his dive attack. It takes 10 Ignite hits to actually make him do that. We don't want to hit him too fast because we want to let that damage rack up. And as long as you stay close to him like that, he's not going to use any of his moves that are actually threatening. Kind of just double cartwheel around him, taunt him a little bit, call him some names. This is pretty good luck so far. You actually don't really want him to dodge none. That was pretty perfect. Because you want that damage to add up. Perfect. So that's Neverland. And we're going to go into the final world pretty soon. We got to make a pit stop at Yensid's Tower after skipping 7 cutscenes. To skip a couple more. And then we'll do the final 2 bosses.
7 cutscenes with loading times in between each one, of course.
It's like a 6-minute segment or something like that, and the boss fight's like a minute, maybe 45 seconds. is. I think this is like the fastest loading world in the game. Look at that. Alright, maybe not.
That first part was pretty fast, though.
Alright, we're going to use a sick air slide. That's why I put it on right there. Alright. So now we can move on to the final world. So we're going to fight Brig, who I don't even think, I guess we must have seen him at some point in Aqua's story. I don't even know where he shows up. Probably Radiant Garden. This is the first time you fight him, obviously. So we're going to fight Brig and Vanitas for the third time. And Brig is a super cool fight, in my opinion. It's different from every other fight by a lot, but still equally busted. So something we haven't used in Aqua's run is D-Links, and that's specific to Birth by Sleep. Or basically you can go into kind of get a new command deck based on which character's D-Link you use, and their move titles are like related to that character. Also, if you get hit by one of these tornadoes, it's like a huge time loss. Not a whole lot you can do. So we get as close as possible to despawn the ones that are following us. So D-Links. So we can switch our command deck temporarily for another character's command deck. And they get like cute little moves that kind of relate to their character, even though they're the same moves that you can get just with a different name. But they have unique finishers. And we're going to show off one finisher. What do we want? Nothing. We're going to show off one finisher that we just got, the Peter Pan D-Link finisher. We're going to use that on Brig. And Spellweaver is the most useful throughout the run, of course, because we have it right away, and it's easy to access. But this is definitely just as broken when used on this fight especially.
Yeah, just keep an eye on Brig's health bar when you see the D-Link come out. Once you see Peter Pan's attack, just watch the damage. It's pretty insane.
So it can be a little bit tricky to load up the finisher bar. It's really weird how it works, actually. So we're going to block that, get into the Peter Pan D-Link. And it loads really quickly when you use aerials. So Brig shoots these things. If I were to guard them while on the floor, that bar wouldn't load up. I have to jump and guard them, which is really bizarre. So yeah, it didn't load up there. But then these physical attacks loaded up just fine, so we're good. Alright, here we go. And he's dead.
That's the end of that.
That's Swordsbill. Kind of just wait till he jumps in the middle there, because he won't break out of any attack you use, and we just do that. All you got to do is hold X.
Yeah, like I said, pretty insane damage.
Fun fact: you actually get way less damage if you're playing on 1080 resolution rather than something lower, because like the game won't register the hits being done and gives you less damage. So you actually have to play this on 720 or lower for that strat to work 100% of the time. Like you can kill him from full health with that, but on 1080 it's not possible.
Final boss time.
This guy is just the worst. Like, again, he can dodge whatever he wants. He actually doesn't take damage from ignites this time. And he went for Mickey, which is not great. Doesn't take damage from ignites, but we're still going to hit him with them, because that hit counter adds up to where he's going to use that dive move just like before. And we want to force him into that dive so we can get the free Spellweaver damage. Cool. So this is actually a really fast fight right now. Should jump right into the middle. Yep. And time's going to come up right now.
Nice.
Sweet.
Great job.
Really fast fight, actually.
Nannerpuss, your time was 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 44 seconds.
That's extremely
Awesome.
good.
That's very good for a marathon run.
That's extremely good for any run.
Yeah.
I'll get you
That was-
top 3 right there. Wow. Awesome.
That was deathless and pretty good RNG too.
Yep. Very nice. Sweet. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the donations and the support from chat. Super cool. Thanks to STR for having me out here. Really, really awesome event. Super cool stuff going on. So that's Aqua Crit.
108.33 end game time.
Cool. Thanks a lot.